All right. Shalom. First of all, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rekakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth and rule well. Peace and salutations to you, Akim, out here, pushing this word in sincerity, truth, and in faith. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners. Those of our people that very well may look exactly like the other nations, but their heritage through their father's seed line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the Hebrew Israelites. And shalom to the few sisters, the Akwath, that's out here listening in all humility. All right? I have another lesson, and I'm going to entitle it, It's Impossible to Please Him. But without faith, it is impossible to please Him. That's how that's it. All right? And that's speaking of pleasing Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. You have to have faith, okay? Because we don't have anything else but faith. But faith is the only thing that we need. All right? We depend on Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai in faith, day in and day out. Okay? He controls our life. All right? This morning I was standing at a corner about to cross the street at the light, and I was standing by the light pole, and 1 second something just told me to step back, and I stepped back, and then the bus turned the corner, and when it turned the corner, it unleashed a lot of water. Just came like it rained on the sidewalk right where I was standing, right in front of my feet. It didn't touch me at all, but the whole place right in front of me was wet. Okay? 1 second, if I would have been there 1 second longer, I would have got drenched. Okay? But the Spirit had me to move, just step back, and I just stepped back. Okay? And the bus came, turned, and I guess it was stacked up on top of the bus, so when it turned, it spilled it out, you know? I was like, wow. Okay? This is how the Lord, deals with us, man. Okay? He sees what's happening before we see it coming. Okay? The Lord sees it and can prepare you and put you out of the way of danger. That's the faith that we have in our Lord, man, and Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, that He's going to protect us in these times, man, to come. All right? No matter what. It doesn't matter what situation it is. Okay? What kind of hardship. It doesn't matter, because ultimately the Lord creates all these things anyway. Okay? There's nothing happening on the earth that the Lord didn't create. He created the wicked for the day of evil. Okay? So He controls them as well. He controls the weather. He controls everything. Whatever it is, the Lord is in control. There's nothing that the Lord don't control. So you have to have faith in that. So I want to get a few scriptures. Actually, I want to go to Hebrews 11 chapter, okay, because there's a lot of faithful times in here. Let's read about them. Hebrews 11:1, it says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders obtain a good report." They have a good report right now. Our elders and apostles and bishops. Okay? Through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of the Most High. See? So that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. By faith Abel offered unto the Most High a more excellent sacrifice than Cain, by which he obtained witness that he was righteous. The Most High testified of his gifts, and by it he being dead, yet speaketh. Okay? It says, by faith Enoch was translated that he should not see death, and was not found, because the Most High had translated him. For before his translation, he had this testimony that he pleased the Most High. Okay? It says, but without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of him that diligently seek him. Okay? And that's how we approach the Most High. That's how we go to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai in faith. Okay? Looking for the things that the Lord is going to do for us, man. Okay? It says, by faith Noah, being warned of the Most High of things not seen as yet, moved with fear, prepared an ark to the saving of his house. Okay, and that's what we're doing right now. We're moving in fear. Okay, preparing a spiritual ark to save our own house. It says, by which he condemned the world and became heir of the righteousness which is by faith. All right. And he was the only one of all the people on the earth, him and his family were the only one that was saved. Okay. It says, by faith, Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance, obeyed. And he went out, not knowing whither he went. By faith he sojourned in the land of promise, as in a strange country, dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise. For he looked for a city which hath foundations, whose builders and maker is the Most High. Through faith also Sarah herself received strength to conceive seed, and was delivered of a child when she was past age, because she judged him faithfully who had promised. Okay? All these seeming like impossible things, they had faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai that he could bring these things to pass. And the things that's coming our way right now, okay, Jacob's troubles, okay, the ICBMs, okay, race wars, pestilence, all these things, we have faith that the Lord will bring us through all of this, okay, and get us to the other side unscathed. Okay? It says, therefore sprang there even of one, and him as good as dead, so many as the stars of the sky in multitude, and as the sand which is by the sea shore innumerable. Okay? It says, these all died in faith, not having received the promise, but having seen them afar off, and were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. For they that say such things declare plainly that they seek a country, and truly, if they had been mindful of that country from which they came out, they might have had opportunity to have returned. Okay? But check this out. It says, but now they desire a better country, that is, and heavenly. That's what we desire. We desire the kingdom of heaven, man, whereas righteousness will rule and evil will be stuffed out. Okay? And when the Lord writes his laws, statutes, and commandments on our inward part, okay, and we be perfect, okay, it says, but now they desire a better country, that is, and heavenly. Wherefore the Most High is not ashamed to be called their power. For he hath prepared for them a city. And that's what we're looking for. We have faith that we're going to get to that city, because it's written. Okay? It says, by faith, Abraham, when he was tried, offered up Isaac, and he that had received the promise offered up his only begotten son. Okay? Of whom it was said that in Isaac shall thy seed be called, accounting that the Most High was able to raise him up even from the dead, from whence also he received him in a figure. By faith Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau concerning things to come. By faith Jacob, when he was dying, blessed both the sons of Joseph in worship, leaning upon the top of his staff. By faith Joseph, when he died, made mention of the departing of the children of Israel, and gave commandments concerning his bones. By faith Moses, when he was born, was hid 3 months of his parents, because they saw he was a proper child, and they were not afraid of the king's commandment. By faith Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of the Most High, than to enjoy the pleasure of sin for a season, esteeming the reproach of Hamashiach Yahushai greater riches than the treasures in Egypt. For he had respect unto the recompense of the reward. Okay? He had faith, man. Moses had faith. You have to have faith to come from such a high position to go down to such a low position. Okay? He was at the top. All right? It says, by faith, he forsook. It says, by faith, he forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king, for he endured as seeing him who is invisible. Exactly. Through faith, he kept the Passover and the sprinkling of the blood, lest he that destroyed the firstborn should touch them. By faith, they passed through the Red Sea as by dry land. Okay. Which the Egyptians, saying to do, were drowned. Okay. The Egyptians were drowned, man. All right. Moses and the children of Israel passed through on dry land. All right. Through faith. All right. Get to the end of seem like the end of the road when you come to this Red Sea, to this sea, and it's like you have nowhere to go. The army of Pharaoh is right behind you, and when they get you, they're going to kill you all. And you get up to a dead end. Okay? And Moses had faith in the Lord that he could bring them through, and the Lord did it by doing a miracle, splitting the Red Sea open. Okay? And making the ground at the bottom wet, which has been saturated with water. Come on now. It says, by faith the walls of Jericho fell down after they were compassed about 7 days. By faith the harlot Rahab perished, not with them that believed not, when she had received the spies with peace. And what shall I more say? For the time will fail me to tell of Gideon, and of Barak, and of Samson, and of Jephthah, and David also, and Samuel, and of the prophets, who through faith subdued kingdoms, wrought righteousness, obtained promises, stopped the mouths of lions, quenched the violence of fire, escaped the edge of the sword, out of weakness were made strong, waxed valiantly in fight, turned to flight the armies of the aliens. Women received their dead raised to life again, and others were tortured, not accepting deliverance, that they might obtain a better resurrection. And others had trials of cruel mockings and scourgings, yea, moreover of bonds and imprisonments. They were stoned, they were sawn asunder, they were tempted, were slain with the sword. They wandered about in sheepskins and goatskins, being destitute, afflicted, tormented, of whom the world was not worthy. They wandered in deserts and in mountains and in dens and in caves of the earth. All these, it's like, and these all, having obtained a good report through faith, received not the promise. Okay, they still hadn't received the promise yet, but yet they still had faith. Okay, we're coming up on the time where we're going to receive that promise, man. All right. It says, the Most High having provided some better things for us, that they without us should not be made perfect. Okay, so we have to keep the faith now, man, no matter what, because all these stories that I just read is from the past, all the way from the beginning up until now. The men of the Lord have been going, men and women, okay, have been living by faith. Okay, their belief in that which they have not seen. Well, let's get the meaning of faith again. It says, Hebrews 11:1, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Okay, so it is impossible to please him without the faith. So Lord willing, it was edifying. Until the next time, shalom.